Hello, and thanks for joining me here today at Jenny with a Y. I can't talk. I used to think that some YouTubers were trying to throw in little blurbs and bloopers and stuff like that to try to be more relatable and stuff, but no. It's amazing how often it happens. Once you click the camera to go live and start recording, it's like your tongue just gets in knots. It's not that I'm trying to be cute. That just really happened. But anyways, without further ado, yes, cheers of the coffee. For today's coffee side chat, it's really more of a general vlog type of format. Also hoping to kind of but close the loop, or maybe just kind of touch on some of the subject matter I haven't returned back to in a while, and kind of give some updates of what's going on, things I'm experimenting with, and what basically ended up filling my July. It's hard to believe that, what is it, next week? Oof, we are so close to August. It is kind of spooky, to be honest, but welcome. Thanks for joining me here today. Thanks for joining the channel. So yeah, let's get into it. What's been filling July up? What's been going on? Kind of a lot of things and kind of a lot of the same. I think I mentioned in my last video on what I used to keep my skates clean that, to be honest, I haven't really been roller skating as much due to weather issues and just the nature of the beast. Like yesterday and today were good days to go roller skating, but here's what happened. I did volunteer work yesterday that kept me later, and then I have my second job gig after, just a little bit later on tonight. Today's Thursday, so now I have my second job, so I'm kind of busy. I kind of don't have as much free time to roller skate as I used to, and because I roller skate outside, I'm really dependent on the weather being nice and pleasant, and hopefully not stifling and sticky and humid, and definitely not storming or anything. But yeah, so I've just been kind of stuck on the same old of, I'd like to get back out there skating again. I was just starting to learn how to do crossovers going forwards. I was learning how to do crossovers going forwards when I last dropped off. Still struggling a bit with transitions. Gosh, just learning to roller skate outside in general has been it's always and forever a challenge, between the fact that you can't, like indoors, you can slide, if you're using your indoor wheels, you can slide those wheels around and kind of get away with more things. And then outdoors, you're usually using stickier wheels to help compensate for the bumpy texture of pavement and cement. And it just changes everything. You have to know more about the mechanisms. You have to be more comfortable with lifting more areas of your foot up off the pavement. So it's definitely been a challenge for sure. And unfortunately, some of the skate friends I've tried to get in touch with and hang out with, like, it's just not been working out, to be honest. It's really been hard to kind of like hang out and skate. And at this point, one of my skating friends is at a whole other level because they're doing the 365 Moxie challenge, which is where you skate a little bit every day. And the other one is, I don't even know where she's at. I don't even know if she really knows how to skate forward much, or for all I know, she's been rocking out transitions and crossovers for months now. And it's just, we haven't been able to connect at the same time on the same day of the same week, because the parking lot I go to is actually within her workspace. So we just haven't been connecting. It's been tough. It's been a little disappointing. It's not that it's their fault, but it's just expectations, reality, they're not really matching up. The reality is that it's really tough to get together with other people to do the same hobby unless you have it scheduled out all the time. But to randomly be like, hey, are you free? I'm going to be here doing this. I mean, the last time I got an invite to go to the rink with the other friend, it was when I was in the middle of my car accident and I was carless at that time. I was like, I'm not having my spouse drive me 30 minutes down south and then 30 minutes back to go to a rink, and I'm just not in the spirit for it either. So, because I was bummed out about my car and I was trying to figure out what new car to get. So, long story short, I'm not skating as much these days. I do hope to pick it up this fall. Hopefully the weather is nice. Hopefully it's not stifling. I am really picky about when I go outside And the parking lot I go to is sun-drenched and fully exposed, and like, yeah. So I don't really like to go out there in high noon because I'll get burnt. Even with sunblock, or I'll just feel hot and sticky and it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. It has to be that I thought it out in my mind and I was like, yes, I'm doing this. And I am mentally prepared for driving out there, even though it's not that far, that I'm mentally prepared for hitting that parking lot, putting on all of my safety gear, and then skating. So, because it's a whole thing. I mean, it takes like 20-ish minutes to get out there and put out my safety gear. It's not too bad, but it's a process, right? Like, to bike ride, I just open the garage and I hop on my bike. To skate, I gotta get all my gear together, I gotta drive over to my sacred spot, and then I have to put all my safety gear on and suit up to be safe because I'm still new enough. And I mean, even otherwise, I'm skating by myself. If I hit my head really hard, that's gonna be bad news bears, right? So it's just a whole process that is lengthy and that I just, can I get a like if you're trying to learn a new skill that you're not great at and maybe you've had to put it on pause for a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. So there's the update on that. I did have some other things I wanted to bring up today, like what I'm trying in my aquarium, because you may have seen I had discus and now I don't. And what happened there. Also what's going on with my shower tub surround and what we're currently working on the master shower and why we don't yet have our other tub that I resurfaced earlier this year, fixed. All these time-consuming little things, but yeah, just kind of wanted to give a little life update on what is going on, what's happening. It's been a heck of a summer. It already feels like summer's over for some reason. Like, isn't that weird? It's kind of the nature of the beast. It's the way it is. But the more we plan out events and fill out the calendar and have all these things pre-scheduled, the faster time seems to go. It just kind of logs that way. I am trying to take a moment and not just live for the weekend, because I was doing that for quite a while. And I will say I'm kind of at a weird point in my work where every day sort of feels like Groundhog's Day. Like, every day is exactly the same to some degree. Like, I wake up, I do the same routines, I make the coffee, I take care of the pets, I log in, I look at emails, I see what meetings I need to attend, and so on. So it's kind of hitting that weird, like, Groundhog's Day effect. But that could just be remote work in general. However, I totally hit it going to the office too. But that was a random segue. So it's been work, it's been side hustles, it's been gardening, it's been pets, it's not been roller skating, although I have watched some tutorials and videos to try to kind of mentally keep myself in that space, right? So yeah, let's get into it. So this is the master shower, and this is actually why I haven't had a chance to go back and try to do a new resurfacing on the other tub. I told y'all that a while back that I had used the Rust-Oleum acrylic epoxy spray for that master shower resurface. And while we had the plumbers out to deal with the whole hardware issue, because I found out that you can't just go to a box store, depending on the age of your house, you can't just go to a box store, grab any old handle and plop it on what's in there, because what's in there may not be compatible with the handle you are purchasing. Things we say now, right? Being a homeowner, I had no idea. So I had to have a plumber come in and like completely redo all the crap in the back behind the wall there. And while they were working on the other wall, because my bathrooms are butt to butt, they basically buttress up against each other. There's the tub on the other side of this wall. You have to basically take down one panel to access the other side. So while they had that open, I was like, well, may as well get a new tub surround, but they didn't do the drywall. They had to do a pretty rough job cutting it out, and we finally just got a handyman in because we had started putting up this green board stuff, but I was like getting really frustrated with the corners. And I told my husband, I was like, please get a handyman in here. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm getting really frustrated with this. And he actually reassured us we were doing a decent job, but there's no way to get these corners true with the current setup and the shims and everything without completely stripping down all the drywall and restarting it over in this section. Like this wall and this wall above the shower would have to be completely replaced. And I was like, no, thank you. We will be fine. I know they're not perfect corners, but he did say I may not want to put tile above the tub anyways, because with the steam and everything, a lot of people have problems with decorative tile above the shower surround crumbling eventually and falling into the tub. So I think I'm just going to skip that. We're just going to paint it. If I get bored with how that back wall looks, you know, I could probably stencil something. I know it seems a little 90s, but I think if I got a nice, simple, modern stencil or something, might look really cute back there and add a little more visual appeal, because I just think it's kind of boring. Oh yeah, the steam has definitely been hurting our ceiling too. So this house was built in 1982. It's not really that old, but it's just old enough to cause some problems. The handyman left this where all I have to do is just smooth it out, sand smooth, and add more layers to build it up and get it nice and level and flush. And then, yeah, after that, we can start applying paint and screw in the shower head and use this new shower. I'm actually really happy with how big it is. It looks so big. I love the big shelves. I like the decorative little, whatever you call that, indent there, I guess. I can't wait to use our master shower. Hopefully in about a week's time we'll be there. We will be there. Lighting when filming aquariums is everything, right? But I had a bit of difficulty with my aquarium, to be honest, earlier this year. I learned so much from owning and then not owning discus. It was crazy, but to be honest, I'm trying a new experiment, and I had a bit of a struggle with my fish staying alive, and I've been a fish keeper for over a decade. But you learn more things every day, and some of the knowledge I had when I first set up this tank was really outdated. I did not know they had completely changed their minds on so many techniques and tactics. I actually need to prop that driftwood back up. As you can tell, it's kind of crunching my beautiful plants back there. But yeah, so what I'm doing is I am trying a new technique. This is going to be called the tiny species tank. So what it's going to be is these, as you can tell, smaller fish that are all warm water loving. Like, I've got guppies again, and I haven't had guppies in years, and I love them. I'm sorry, discus, y'all are beautiful, but these guppies have way more personality. Oh, now you're getting out of focus, bud. These guppies have way more personality than, to be honest, any of my discus fish ever had. They're having a blast. So what I did is I kept with tiny species. I put in a whole bunch more plants. Some are doing better than others. The water wisteria, it's not really doing that great. The Amazon sword would be doing a lot better if I didn't have that driftwood bumped into it. And the hornwort's been kind of going nuts across the top. And I've got some valsinaria poking out here and there. Of course, my Cryptocoryne wendeti patch that's been there for a while. But I jammed in a whole bunch of plants. I'm keeping with the small species because all I have to do to feed them is give them a quick little bite of like bug bites or flakes or something. Oh, I think they know what's up. They're like, ooh, you gonna feed us? And they get the proper amount of food without overfeeding. I think what was happening, there were a mix of things that were happening that was causing problems with my tank earlier this year. And I think among those issues was the fact that I was trying to keep fish that were just a little bit different sized amongst each other. And in order to make sure the super, super large fish got plenty of food, I was putting in too much food, and it was causing a lot of waste. And I wasn't changing the water aggressively enough to keep up with all that waste that was being triggered by dumping in all that food. So now we are doing one small pinch every day. Sometimes I skip a day periodically. I'm actually experimenting with not doing any water changes. I'll test the water this week, but so far my nitrates actually dropped dramatically and my ammonia was at 0. So I'm kind of experimenting a little bit here. We'll see how it goes. I'm kind of excited about it though, to be honest. They look good. They are the healthiest, happiest looking fish I've had in a while, and I'm really happy about that. I was getting so depressed. I was almost about to quit the hobby because I was having so many problems, but there is your tank update. So yeah, thanks for joining in. Thanks for sitting this far. If you made it this far, give the video a like if you like these kinds of vlog just general chatting type of discussions. Right now I'm kind of labeling more of my vlog specific to coffee side chats or car side chats or something along that line, to give you a clue that this isn't necessarily a review or an informational, but in a very casual conversation type of manner. So let me know if you like this kind of content. Thanks so much for joining in. Feel free to hit subscribe so you can get more notifications on when more content like this and more comes out. We cover here roller skating and pets and life updates and home renovation kind of stuff and just learning life in general kind of things. So thanks so much for watching. Have a great rest of your weekend. Bye.